Good morning, everybody. This is Trader Steve, and it is June 29th, Sunday morning. It's a beautiful day here in eastern North Carolina. Beautiful beach weather, and I hope everyone gets out in it. My brother is slaying the drum in a little town. Well, I won't tell because then everybody will go and want to go fish there. But what we're looking at is a breakout, and mostly led by the chips. And now we're going to look at the SPY. The SPY is broken out to new highs also. But then we got to look at the Russell. Now the Russell finally had a nice green candle here for the weekly. And I think everyone's wanting interest rate cuts, and we'll see what Powell does. And then maybe they will try to catch up with the SPY and the QQQ. Now the diamonds, they are pushing to a new high because of bank deregulation. And we will go down here and look at JP Morgan, which is already broken out to a new high. And so, you know, that's kind of the makeup of a lot of the old Dow, I guess. And now we're going to look at the transports. Now the transports caught a bid last week, and we have a nice big green candle on the weekly. So you can't have a bull market without the transport. So it's good to see that they're taking off. But we got a lot of news coming out here in the next few weeks. You know, the tariff resolution. We've got a little thing called tariff issue coming up with Canada because Trump texted that he's just about to hit him over the head with a baseball bat. So we'll see what happens there. And, you know, the PCE core inflation numbers came out Friday, and it was modest increase, and so gold got killed. We'll get into that. But here's the TLT. You know, we're still flirting with 3-year lows, and I guess if interest rates go down, you know, this will catch a bid. But we'll see if the rest of the world wants to buy our debt at lower interest rates. That's going to be a big cue if we lower rates and demand kind of starts evaporating. And that's when everyone starts to, like me, I'm going to get worried. And here's the Dixie. We hit a new low in the dollar, 3-year low here on the weekly chart. It's right here. And, you know, that's really good for exporters, but it's bad for inflation when you import a lot of stuff like we do. And so I expect this is going to start hitting the inflation numbers in the coming months. And that brings us to gold. Gold was kind of gobsmacked last week, mostly on Friday when the PCE numbers came out. And we'll get into the nugget. I've been waiting for the triple levered nugget, you know, to get into a buying area. And so hopefully it'll come down some more before these numbers start showing an increase in inflation and our economy softening. And then I think things may change here. So here's the SMH. You know, it hasn't hit a high yet, a new high, but it's working on it. It's probably going to do it, and we'll see what happens. And the chips are strong. We'll take a look at NVDA and AMD here shortly. Now here's Apple. Apple is just stuck. I mean, it is just going nowhere. Tim Apple has a problem with Trump, and Trump has a problem with him, and iPhone sales in China, which are supposed to be getting better, but Apple has issues, and we'll see how this is resolved. See if the president, you know, lets him up for air, if he does promise to make a iPhone here in America or somewhere. But it's not going well here for Apple. It's not participating in the rally. Here's Bitcoin. It may bust out to a new high here. We'll see. It's just kind of chopping around. I guess you could call that a bull flag. And here's coin. You know, the trade of pretty much the month. I mean, it was a beast. Stable coin issue. It's going to be trading all these stable coins, I guess. And so people that own coin, good for you. Wonderful, wonderful move there. Here's MicroStrategy, which is loaded up on a bunch of Bitcoin, has a really poor business inside that corporate shell, but it's got a lot of Bitcoin and it hasn't really participated. It's kind of weak. I mean, it had a decent week last week, but it just didn't, overcome the prior week's high. And here's a stock, Novo Nordisk. I took it down and I'm kind of waiting for the bear raid to stop. There are all sorts of negative articles coming out about, Spain investigating them. Woo, Spain, small little country. It's 40 million people. And so, the bear raid, these hedge fund guys, private equity guys kind of start feeding these news wires all sorts of garbage articles, and they're working on Novo right now, and we'll see what happens. But when this thing starts finding a bottom and turns back around, I'll be taking down another 500 and just kind of putting it away, because I think this is going to make it back to the 50% fib unless it breaks down to a new low. So it's on watch, and I'll be selling some premium to try to recoup the loss I have in it. But I'm gonna probably keep that as a long-term hold. Here's Oxy. Buffett owns 28% of this, and it got taken to the woodshed when Iran and Israel made peace, and Iran wasn't going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and all the typical oil story. But I'm going to hold on to this one and see if Buffett maybe takes down some more and maybe eats the whole thing. We'll see. There's a big article that came out June 26th in Morningstar saying it's worth $59, and Buffett, he wouldn't own a big piece of it if he didn't like it. So it's worth to hang around for a little while. I'll be selling some premium on this one too, and try to make some money and lower my cost basis as we go forward. Now, Tesla, is just a beast of a stock to trade options in. It's just got so many options trading. It's a wonderful trading vehicle. Not so high on the cars. I mean, they're all right. They kind of look like the spaceships in Independence Day. Remember Will Smith riding around? They got a big bubble top to them. That's what they look like to me. And the pickup truck, no thanks. But it's a great trading vehicle, and maybe one day you'll have your own Optimus Prime or whatever robot driving the thing for you. We'll see. But they're going to be coming out with their quarterly numbers probably Tuesday, latest maybe Wednesday. So this stock will finally get out of the chop zone that it's in. It's just kind of last 2 weeks has been in this tight range, and as soon as the numbers come out, we'll see if everyone loves it, hates it. I have a feeling if they miss their numbers, the stock will still go up, because it's just a good hype stock, and people expect good things and the full service driving. But I really don't care. I'm never going to have full service driving. But if the stock goes up, I'll jump in it. If it goes down, I may buy some puts in it. We'll see what happens. Now, we're looking at gold. As I said before, I've been waiting to get back into this trade. And so I'm going to go down to a 4-hour chart. And, it really got whacked Friday on the core inflation numbers being weak. But I think inflation's going to start rearing its head as we get into the fall. So I'm looking for a reversal candle here somewhere on the 4-hour chart, similar to what happened back here just before around the middle of May. And I'm going to hopefully be loading the boat. Now we're going to go back to the weekly chart and look at some chips. And here's NVDA. It's a 50 PE. It broke out to a new high. But AMD is trying to catch them. The AI chips and all that. And as you can see, it's got a long way to go. The prior highs up here around 200. This big old candle here on I guess that was March of 24, and we'll see if it can get back to that point, except, AMD's got 105 PE, NVIDIA's at 50. So who knows? But, if you want to try and run the chips for a long-term hold, that might be your case here. Now here's Albacore, or Albemarle, not the fish, I'm sorry. And on the weekly chart, it's starting to show some life here, like there may be a turn here. And it may be something to do with the rare earths from China. Maybe it's catching a bid. It's a big lithium producer here in the States. And, that's the banging the drum for buying stuff here in the States. But this is a good engulfing candle here on the weekly. And I took it down on the 4-hour chart, made some good money in it. It had a really good reversal candle here, rode it up to the top Bollinger Band and rolled out of it. I don't own it anymore, and I'm going to try and catch some more trades in this stock. It's, what we call the trash stocks. Everything that's really good has hit new highs, and this one is trying to recover. It's kind of like a Novo Nordisk stock. It's had its day and it's been beaten down for a few years, and now maybe it'll find a bottom here. And depending on the rare earth story with China, if China starts providing all that stuff, this stock could start to tank again. We'll see. Just keep an eye on it. But there's some moves there that you can catch if you keep an eye on it. And here's JP Morgan, last stock I'm going to go through today. Now, JP broke out to a new high, the bank deregulation coming out. So, it's kind of probably why the Diamond ETF went up so well. So that's it for the weekly update here in North Carolina. It's a beautiful day. Get out, go hit some golf balls, play tennis, go to the beach, do something. This is Trader Steve signing off. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.